Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are every day. People like to welcome you all to the show. Today, the topic is why America needs reform. And I have the one and only, no other than Marcus Muhd, to help me define what the reform of America should look like. And we're going to walk together as we tackle this issue. Welcome to the show, Brother Marcus Muhd.
Salam, Black. What's up?
Like salam, God. Look, this the deal, right? America needs reform. And the theme of this is about reform, but also chants, slogans. I can't breathe. Right. I can't breathe is more than just a slogan dealing with cutting off the windpipe of an African American man. It means also that I can't breathe in the midst of the stench of all this racism that's being portrayed among melanated people. Right. Then also you have protests, as I can remember, where you hear the protesters scream, "No justice and no peace," which meaning that if there is no justice, how can there be peace? And then that's a reflection of the rioting and the looting that's going on. Right. So we want to couple all the slogans, together. Hands up. Don't shoot. Meaning, hey, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender to peace. I surrender to the Creator. Please don't shoot me. But yet, in return, racist cops, racist mindset shoots anyway. Right? So now we looking at, we got to reform this thing in order to go forward. Because if we don't reform, then the country will remain in chaos. The economy will collapsing. Will look just like these third world countries that you looking at or that you see today. But my question that I have for you is, over the years, most pastors and preachers and in the black community always told black people to turn the other cheek and to love your enemy. But how can we get those same preachers and pastors to go to the white community and teach them not to aggress upon us and to end their racism, because we don't have the power to attack them? Why are you telling, just like you telling the prey to be humble, when the prey is already humble, when you should be delivering a message to the wolf?
Yes, sir. For the most part, they're just commissioned by our enemy to talk that milquetoast talk. And so that same vibe and spirit will seep into our soul, and then we begin to express weakness. And then we'll see each other fall into our knees, once again begging our enemy to do this and don't do that, and can I have this, and will you allow me to do that?
And
they are commissioned.
And they commission. So what I want to do today, right, and this is the first time it's been done, on this show, but it's not, but the message or the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was also to teach the Caucasian as well of who he is, to give him an understanding of himself. So I want to take it in the context of us teaching the Caucasian brethren on, if possible, he can turn from his nature of aggression and violence and hatred towards his melanated brothers on this planet. You know what we speaking? We're speaking to the Caucasian. We're not speaking to black folks today because we victims of it. And we can plead and say, look, this is what you did to me. This is how you hurt my mother. This is how you hurt my father. This is how you hurt justice. This is how you hurt us getting jobs. This is how you hurt housing. This is how it's disparities in economics. We know that as a people. But how can we get the message over to the one that's implementing the chaos to where they can understand or see what they're doing is in error?
Bro, this what you bringing up, brother, is such a rich subject that can just be broken down and dissected for the next week or two. And so we'll do the best we can to codify what you just brought up, brother.
Okay.
And make a few points in our short time that we have to speak to your wonderful listeners. I want to start that off from my point of view, for what I like to offer, with saying it's not our job to make them believe. You said we're talking to the Caucasian fellow people of the planet Earth. It's not our job to make you believe, to make you accept, to make you understand. It's not our job to make you do this. It's our job, just like the brother just said, is to present, to get the message over to you as clear as we possibly can and as plain as we can, and so that you have the opportunity to accept it or reject it just like anybody else. If you have never experienced in your life a time where you weren't privileged, you better feel it right now when it comes down to you receiving the message, because this is not the type of thing that somebody's going to hold your hand, and if you don't want it, it's okay. Do what you want to do. And you don't even have the time that you would like to have to get it right. It's not your time. It's not our time. This is the time of the God that means business. And that's where the message is coming from. It's coming from a supreme God who means business. So you got to kind of humble yourself a little bit and really listen to some facts, to really listen to the sincere and concerned voices that are trying to tell you. You came from a people whose very intent is to destroy the opposite race from you. A race of people who are on the opposite spectrum of the racial classes. That's your whole purpose of being here. Or I should say, because this is a time of mercy also. It was. That is the great thing about today. You have the opportunity to accept this message or reject it. If you accept it, then you will see mercy in it. And you will be helped. That's what a supreme God does, who's over all of this. He offers the message, and he also offers you a little bit of mercy within the message. That if you accept it and then you start making concessions for it in your own life, then everything will work itself out. That's called justice. Justice can work for you and justice can work against you.
See, now, the universe, sun, moon, stars, mountains, everything we see that was created by the Creator was created justly or in truth. And everything has its function that it operates out of. Right. So when the original man, who was created in truth and created in justice, has to live in an unjust reality, what does that do to the psyche? How can your subconscious remember a time when you were at peace, then have to adapt and living in a reality where you are no longer in peace? And I'm asking that question because because people are wondering, wow, look at the stuff going up in smoke, stuff is being burned down, stuff is it's like you asking a people to live in an unjust reality. How can you adapt to that?
You have to understand what this is headed towards. This is going towards the establishment of the kingdom of God and the kingdom of heaven.
Okay.
And that means that we have to put childish things away, and we have to get up from here and go toward the future. We have to move forward.
Wait. So hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. Are you saying that the people that are screaming unjust, or we being or things or things or we're not being living in a justful society, has a responsibility in that condition?
The people who are living through the injustice?
Right.
Yes, sir. We all have a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a responsibility. This is moving forward. The God has no more time to play with people. Because, let's be honest with everybody, he could remove every last one of us and replace us all.
Right. Fact.
Right.
Right.
We tend to forget that.
Right.
He can just say, okay, well, forget it. I just start over and holler at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The whole thing that we're going through right now is to prepare us for leadership, prepare us to be in the garden, to prepare us for a kingdom of heaven. And get the kingdom of heaven, I can't think of any other way to say it, but I know when I say the kingdom of heaven, people start thinking white clouds and white gowns and wings and shit on the back.
Milk and honey and gold roads, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But in a sense, I'm trying to relate. In another sense, I don't want you to take it that. I want you to take it that literal, as we've been taught. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're talking about a righteous world that is of freedom, justice, and equality. In order for you to live in a freedom, justice, and equality world, you have to be justified. You have to be qualified for this freedom. You have to be able to exercise. You have to know what to do with your freedom. So all of this is preparation. If you're going to make it and if you ain't going to make it. We all not going to make it. Sad to say, we're not all going to make it.
So
if you look at the scripture, it was like 144,000.
Right.
Out of how many people?
Right. Yeah.
Now, the Lamb can defeat those odds.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
He's been brought up out of the mud and made a master. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about mud like MUHD Muhammad, short for Muhammad mud.
Right.
I'm talking about the mud that we all coming from, like dirty water.
Right.
The nothingness. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And made a master, like the second step of God, brother.
Come on.
If he can do it, we can do it.
That's right.
That's what the purpose of it is for. He grabs one and makes one an example. Here, look. You see what that is?
Right.
See how I do that?
Right.
This is for you. It ain't just for him. It's for all of you. The kingdom.
So is racism and hatred, bitterness, and is all they considered to be the mud to come up out of?
Already the obstacle course, you know what I mean? We just in training here, We just in training, brother. And it gets stiffer and it gets stronger, harder. It gets more and more crucial as we go. But we got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep pushing. We got to think better. We got to increase on prayer. We got to increase on work. We got to increase on study. because we're being prepared for something. Sir?
No, you're right, brother. But it seems like the Caucasian job is to hold us down, and our job is to not let him hold us down. Like the Caucasian is the linebacker and we the running back. He trying to stop us from getting to the goal. And the black man, we got to be like Barry Sanders. We got to turn around, shift gears, reverse, jump over, all kind of stuff, and try to get to the goal without fumbling the ball.
Oh, we can Bo Jackson bars work their ass and go straight through the end zone.
Come on. Set yourself in heaven at once, right?
Yes, sir. It's in us. We original man, and Caucasians won't be left behind just because they're Caucasians. We all in training here. They training might be a little different. They playing a different position.
Right. Because
but it better be right.
It better be right, because this is the last stance before separation. I could be wrong, but I'm saying before the greatness, before the exodus, the total and complete separation. Because it's after you play the same game for so long, and it's like, okay, what's the use? Meaning, we've been here before. We did the chance to no justice, no peace. We did that. We did the rioting before. We did the fighting before. And it cannot go back to business as usual after this. And if it does, then drastic measures has to be taken. Land, territory, separation, let's roll. Let's get on up out of here, because it's just not going to work out. It's just, like they always get the battered spouse syndrome. After a while, spouse get battered so much to where somebody got to go. We got to separate. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Can't keep taking them beatings no more. That's it. You know what I mean? Even after even if whether it's a woman or a man, woman get upset after them beatings, she take the knife, stab him, and she gone. You know what I mean? And
right.
And that's where we at now.
You're right there, brother. When you see the military in the streets, beat the hell out of people still. You know what I'm saying? Turning they camera vests off. Vest camera, whatever you call it.
Right.
Turning their cameras off, beating the hell out of people. You know what I'm saying? We here. Here it is. I mean, it's going on all over the country and all over the world.
So there's no message that we can give the Caucasian that he would honor, or the colonizer. And I believe, I don't know who is that said that, where it says that there's no rights of a black man that a white man has to honor. Or there's, right. I can't remember the person who said that statement, but that's where we at. Hopefully that's not where we at, but that's where it seems like we're at, meaning that if we plead from our good nature for a just and civil society, the history of the colonizer states that nothing we say or do that he has to honor.
Well, it's true, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's true. Well, if we're going to plead for somebody for something that we already set the right to since the day we were born, then they're not obligated to give it to us.
Right.
Because we acting outside ourselves any damn way.
Because the God gave it to you. Right.
Huh?
The God gave it to you in the beginning when you was born.
Right.
You going to ask another man for what God already gave you.
There you go.
I mean,
so they're not obligated to act outside of themselves. They supposed to do what they're supposed to do. That's what they're here for. You know, we extending the time of the devil's rule by our refusal to accept the message and act accordingly.
Wow, bro.
We the one extending this. So if you look at it in a sense, man, all this shit is really our fault. I mean,
right, it's on us.
It really is.
Wow.
How long we been taught, man? How long we've been taught? Plenty. And for a long enough time for us to have already built another Black Wall Street by now.
Right. We had great We had Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Army Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm Martin, Minister Farrakhan. Yeah, we can with upright and proper knowledge, and we let the colonizers tell us don't listen to Farrakhan, and we did.
And we did. And we still do.
And we suffer from it.
And we suffer from it. And then we want to run out there and then turn around and blame the ones who tried to tell you. Didn't you say this? Didn't you say that? But did you listen? And what did you do if you listen?
And what's his name? The Attorney General in Minnesota, Rodney Ellis' son or Rodney Ellis?
Ellis and the AG?
Right. Attorney General. Yeah, Attorney General.
Ellis.
Yeah, right.
The Ellis.
Right. The one that denied the minister. Now look what's happening in this city.
Right.
Total chaos. Now, if you would have followed the proper protocol in which you was taught when you was with the nation, you'd have went through that police force and removed the racists to save the lives of the people and your city. But you get on TV and you just deny Minister Farrakhan, and you can't even get control of it. And then then the people had to force you to make sure you make those arrests of the one with his knee on George Floyd's neck.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet for a second there, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he came out with it, man. I mean, right. You have to give people, give him the credit for what he earned. You know,
right.
Give him credit where credit is due. Since then, he's been speaking as he should.
Right.
You know.
True.
That's enough to. We can honor that, you know what I'm saying? We can honor that.
Right, because he came out. He now, but man, come on, what other three? You gotta get the other three too, because they showed the video. They all on his leg.
You know, yeah, you ain't done, man. You know what I'm saying? Them sweet words ain't only go so far. Right. We ain't got time for that shit no more. You know, We got to see some results, man. We got the coroner coming out, independent coroner coming out saying that yes, it was asphyxiation. They smothered the man to death, one knee on his neck and two in his back on top of his lungs.
God damn.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
the district coroner came out fixing it up to where they were going to use what he said, and they probably still do. They working on a way to come out and tell us that we didn't see what we saw.
And that's what people fed up with.
And that's what people out in the street tearing this damn country up for.
Right, because you
trying to tell us what we do, what we not looking at.
Right,
what we looking at.
Right, you're not dealing with little children, and adults hate to be treated like little children.
Right.
Yeah, that's frustration. That causes frustration. You didn't see what you seen, and come on, don't play with me, man.
Total insult. Total insult.
Yeah. Yeah,
you got no word. Ain't even no words for that, man.
No
We're
words.
looking at this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you telling us we not seeing what we looking at.
Right.
Go home.
Right, and that's the see, but that lets people know that you always want to be a trickster, and there's no truth in you. Can you be truthful? For a second, man. Just be truthful for a second and put everything on the table so we can deal. That's the problem. Stop with the tricks and lies and hiding this and moving that. You know, people tired. People fed up with that. You know.
Well, you see, that's how justice works, though, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Young Elijah Muhammad said that the God will use justice as a weapon against the enemy and against this beast. I'll put it on a cell phone for the world to see and let you lie. Just so I can come through and wipe your ass out, man.
Man.
And some of us are sitting back hoping and waiting for the day that the God delegates some of that ass whooping to us.
Right.
Because I live this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Yeah.
felt this shit. I know what's up.
You know
And
it.
then I know what I'm looking at.
That's right. You know exactly what's going on. Being a victim and an altercation with police, with the police. I mean, firsthand witness, not just talking about it, but actually went through the whole system, of rights being violated, and we want to get that whole your ideal soon at the right time. It gotta be put out, because it's different when someone speaks on secondhand knowledge, but when you getting it firsthand, it's a whole dynamic to that. So it has to be shared. It has to be shared, bro. But it got to be done right, man. It has to be done right.
Yes, sir.
But now the reports of Antifa, some say Antifa, calling them anarchists, who joined in with the struggle and protest of black people to move forward their agenda and mix in with the black agenda. What do you think about that?
To be honest with you, brother, I don't know much about this Antifa thing. All I know is that it's something that Trump chose to get on his bullhorn with,
Right.
And try to excuse himself with that shit and pump up his base with the little red meat and all that kind of stuff and point the finger. What I do know, just like we're talking about witnessing things on video, is that the very thing that he's blaming this Antifa thing for, I'm watching these Caucasian fellas walk up and destroy shit and dip off into the darkness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen it. Now I did see the definition of white privilege during these riots. I seen a white dude busting windows and in front of the police face, and that white cop would not advance on it. He wouldn't do it. But in my mind, I said, had that been a brother, that stick would have been swinging out across his head.
Well, don't we know that's the reason why helicopters ain't shooting down into the crowd right now?
Yeah.
Because half the crowd is white people.
White people. That's right.
This shit would have been, in a sense, over with already.
Oh.
This shit been going on for 6-7 days already.
Yeah. If this was like they did move in Philadelphia, bombed them.
Look, bro. Look how all this started. The white boy just felt like he had the right and the privilege to just sit on a man's neck because he black and kill him in front of everybody on camera. That tells you that they ain't advanced in civilization and righteousness nowhere since the 60s.
Right.
And then back in the 60s, they were sicking dogs on us and shooting us with water hoses and throwing bombs and shit, firebombing us and shit.
Churches, right.
What do you think will be happening right now if it wasn't a crowd full of white people?
Yeah. Yeah. Fact.
6 days?
Yeah, it been over with. Man, folks been shot, laid out in the street, right?
Man.
Come on. You right.
Just so happens that the guards just put a coronavirus on everybody and made them sit in the house too long. That they come out and protest any goddamn thing.
They really got the house, huh?
Shit.
Right.
They coming out in their shouts. It's summertime. You know what I'm saying? They got the screaming, hollering, man.
Yeah, they wild.
For 2-3 months.
That's right. They letting loose. They wild. Because when you turn on the TV, you see, man, damn them predominantly white folks out there. And
Screaming
then
Black Lives Matter.
Screaming Black Lives Matter. And the one who kicked off who busted the windows out the AutoZone was a white guy.
Yeah, that's one of them provocateurs right there. That's one of them agitators.
Yeah. Busted. You know what I mean?
That's how they doing. They caught him. Imagine how many, this shit is going on all over the world, man.
Yeah. But
imagine the ops, the black ops techniques and tactics that's going on.
And
They get down.
And the funny part about it is the journalists, the media, They really don't know how to report. They want to say black folk tearing up the city, but they seeing white folks, and then they trying to, because they always had to keep that image that, we got to uphold the white and pull down the black. But now they can't say nothing negative about the white, so they have to try to work it and weave it, and it's driving them crazy.
The God say, I will have you in division. I will turn your confusion against you. This is the master of the day of judgment, brother. He's a master.
Okay.
I don't know what people playing with God for, man.
Yeah, for real. Because they've been taught that God is a mystery, that he's a spook.
Right.
They don't think God is real. They think God's somewhere surfing on the clouds somewhere.
Nothing, unless a mystery or something.
Mystery in the heavens,
No. God is an intelligent human being.
That's right.
The most intelligent. That's why you call him God.
That's right.
The Most High. That's why you call him the Most High. He's a supreme human.
Supreme.
And you got a human that can control the forces of nature. That's God. Ain't that God?
That's God. That's God.
People got to get it right, man. People got to get it right.
In your midst today, and the sad part about it, prior to slavery, black folks, that was common knowledge. We trying to get the mindset back in order what it used to be. We knew that. We just got amnesia, bro. We trying to pull everything back up to the surface that we lost at one time.
We had an idea. For thousands of years, people on the planet worship their own idea of God, because God hid himself from the population.
Right.
It was just time. These people tripping. I'm just gonna remove myself, because it's like chicken pox. You get this chicken pox and you go to the doctor. The doctor say, "Okay, we got to treat you," but he don't give you something to stop it. He give you something to bring that shit out until you go sit down somewhere in quarantine.
That's right.
Until it all passed.
Fact. But before the doctor, the tribe would go to the one that was the head, who knew medicine, science, mathematics, or was more, let's say, educated than the rest of the tribe. So that person became the leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then since we don't know God, we start worshiping the doctors and the scientists and the lawyers and the leaders.
That's right. Yeah.
Just idolaters. We don't know until Master Farad Muhammad came.
Right.
We didn't know what God was, who God was.
True. No, we didn't know, and even though a lot understand and do know, they still struggling with the fact of go ahead and making it plain out of fear. And this is not the day for the fearful.
Nah.
It ain't the day for the fearful.
No, sir. Yeah, if you don't want to teach the truth about God, then shut the fuck up and let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be mad at you. Just get out of the way. That's the whole thing, man. You want to sit there and pose for whatever you're getting out of it, whatever it is about it that's gratifying you. You want to pose, but that's some dangerous shit to do, especially nowadays. Look outside, man.
Yeah.
People walking around with masks on their face.
Yeah.
You want to play in this day? This is when you want to play?
Nah, this the wrong.
If you're gonna play, and if you ain't gonna do nothing, then you need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And nobody will be mad at you.
Yeah, because the situation dictates the time. The situation dictate what's going on today. And when I say situation, I'm meaning the circumstances, the incidents over a course of time that dictated what's going on today. It's that it was seen, but yet it was unseen. But you had warning saying, "Hey, you got to stop this." You building up. Didn't heed that warning. Another act of racist and crime and police brutality. Come out again. Hey, what you trying to do? We need justice, or there'll be no peace. Hey, you need to stop this. Hey, why don't you stop doing, and then it hit coronavirus, people in the house. This incident occurred with George Floyd, and it wasn't per se George Floyd. It was so much built up over a long course of time, a period of time, to where it couldn't hold no more. And
pressure bust
the pipe, and then the destructions and the looting and the fire is a reflection of the acts that had been committed. This is what injustice looks like. So hopefully that the racists, they can see it, and hopefully they say, okay, I see the error of my ways. Let's sit down, let's have a peaceful dialogue, and let's end the brutality. But if they so blind that they can't read the signs and see what their racist actions cause, oh man, I can't even imagine it getting uglier than this, bro.
Well, it's gonna get ugly. I'm sorry.
We not even prepared and ready for something like that, bro.
It's gonna be ugly, cause like we're just talking about. But I mean, in the midst of all of this, you got people doing evil. In the midst of it, using what it is to do evil. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling what kind of legislation being passed while all this hysteria is going on. It's just hooking people. Just doing dirt, bro. Why this flood of craziness is gonna hit the airwaves? Everybody paying attention to it, and this bastard over here with an ink pen just fixing things up. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, and
they're not gonna change. Some of them ain't gonna change, man. A lot of them ain't gonna change.
A lot, and the sad part about it is, the sad part about it is that there's been racism and protests all over the globe. People coming out and fighting back about the racism that's going on all over the globe with melanated people, bruh. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah. Worldwide, brother. And it all started right here in the most powerful, supposedly the richest country in the world, right here. The big bully of the planet for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right here is where it started at, man. And it's because this is where the God was judged first. This is where the judgment will start at, right here.
Mm.
And you're gonna have a lot of them that just are not gonna heed the warning. Hard-hearted, stiff-necked, and rebellious people that just would rather go down in flames, And that's fine. That's what the flame is for.
Right. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
That's what the flame is for,
Yeah. Got everything got to play itself out.
The rest of us have to be trying to prepare ourselves to rebuild the wasted cities after these clowns get what they need, That's just justice. The God will use justice to punish the wicked. Right. As a weapon, he will use it to destroy the wicked.
Well, yeah, because the God is making it plain to recognize that double talk, double speech, saying one thing and meaning something and saying, it's becoming so obvious. And the ones that's been doing it so long don't recognize that the people on to you, they think that they're tricking or fooling or what they're saying is above the heads of the populace, and the people are like, are you hearing what you just said?
Right. Yeah. And so, in a sense, you have to respect somebody like Donald Trump. Because at least he has a hard time hiding his lies. You can tell when he's lying.
Right. True. Right. He can't hide.
You know what I'm saying?
You can know.
Right. And if he don't, and if he want to say some derogatory shit, he just gonna say it.
Right.
This is the best this is most transparent president we've had. And I appreciate transparency more than I appreciate somebody like Joe Biden that's getting ready to be, he's getting ready to run or whatever. If he becomes the president, he had the easiest campaign to become president ever.
Yeah, because Trump.
And that's just because you're right. Trump running for him.
Yeah, he heard it. Yeah, Trump heard it damn self. Didn't know it had been quiet. Right.
He handed it over to him because he don't know how to be quiet. It's just fuck.
Yeah.
He ran his ass down into the bunker Friday night.
Yeah, for real.
With the fire. Yeah. And what happened? For an hour, right? And then he come out after an hour, and what happened? He goes straight back to his Twitter talking shit. Look, we need it. Go get him.
Yeah, and he felt, and it seemed like he lost control because they looking at him like, yeah, man, go whatever, man. Hey, go sit down.
Hey, when they get like that, man, he ain't got no power. They gonna grab his ass and they gonna drag his dumb ass down there in that hole. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until they feel like he's no longer a national security risk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Then they let him out.
But look what he did when they let him out. Look what he do.
Go right back.
He go right back to that dumb shit. So, hey, it is what it is, man. This is what it looks like.
It is what it is.
All praises due to Allah. We get to live through and see what this looks like.
Right.
And get to participate.
Right.
The best way we can.
Yeah, right. But what we're doing right now, we are recorders of history. We recording these times, bro, from a free mind and a free perspective that we're doing on this show, Verbal Pick Radio, A-Town Productions, and so people can actually track episodes by listening to previous recordings of these shows to gather a timeline, or where we at, as we go through this thing, and that's what we're here for, to give a different perspective, but the different perspective that we're giving is really a perspective for the voices of those who see things in a certain way, and it's not to upset anyone or no. Every voice shall be heard, and everybody don't think the same. But our thoughts will be manifested, and so that's what this is. But we manifesting the thoughts of a lot of people, and that's just what it is, bro. And I appreciate you always being on the show as we tackle this reform in America, because even if you're the hardest hearted racist on the planet, right, you still have to hear and heed a message. And it's going to come to you in so many different ways to where you understand it. You just turned your back on it. And that's good, but at least it got to get to you. From one of the angles going to hit you. You see what I'm saying?
It's a must. It's a must. Otherwise, the God would be unjust himself.
Right.
The God got to give you an opportunity. He got to give you a chance. He told Jesus, you know what I'm saying, enough of that. You need to go talk to the Gentiles. Mm-hmm. Moses had to go and get
right.
Had to go get them out of the cave.
Right.
After his first mission, which is to liberate the children of Israel. So, hey, at some point, everybody got to hear this. Everybody got to be given the opportunity. And we hope you succeed. We don't want to. We are of the righteous, man. We don't want to see any more bloodshed that has to be shed. We don't want to see that. Mm-hmm. But I'm at peace with what the God has to do, whatever that is.
Right, and that's the best place to be. We can wish and we can hope and we can do whatever, but at the end of the day, it's what the God that's on the scene today, what He decides and what He does, and everybody in all of humanity don't have a choice but to roll along with that.
Absolutely.
Look, this is Verbal Peak Radio. Brother Mark, we appreciate your time. Look, all of y'all, make sure y'all just Google that Slice of Cake, which is coming your way, and that's A-Tone Productions. Blade the Remix, that's YouTube. Check that out. Don't forget to check out the Everyday People The Movie on YouTube. Subscribe to Verbal Pick Radio on the Spreaker app, and check us out on your YouTube, which is Verbal Pick Radio, VRBALPIC Radio. And we out.